Good morning, Kentucky. It's Bob in his happy place. It is August 4th, and I am extra happy this week. I had a birthday on the 2nd. My kids from Texas came in, and we had a wonderful time. And I have a kitty at my feet already. Um, all right, you want to get seen? There you go. Okay, this is Chloe. Had surgery on her belly, but she's doing fine. So, um, So we had a great time, and I promised them if they brought good weather because we have had absolutely the hot. Well, we're on the second hottest summer on record. So we've had 27 days over 90 degrees so far this summer, which is ridiculous for here. Maybe you guys in Texas understand that, but we don't. Um, so I told them if they brought some good weather, then I would get them in a YouTube video. So uh, they they did what I asked. It was 80 degrees, and we actually got some rain. So I'm gonna have to slide them in here on the video. You see two people standing there looking sweet. That's my son Justin and daughter-in-law Jennifer or Jenny. And my video today is about since it's August 4th, um, your garden is not done. Okay, I'm sitting in this hammock just because my title page says that it's time for a hammock, and I still haven't really got in it yet. But it's there's still a lot of growing season to go, and most people that put a garden in, they put it in the spring. They can't wait till the frost is gone. They put it in, and when that's all harvested, they're done. Their tomatoes are done, their peppers are done, everything's done, and they wait till next year. Well, um, there is a lot more you can plant now, and to give you more of a harvest and try some different things. That's the funnest part of gardening is trying new varieties. What you did, like we're on our. I'll give you a quick tour. You had the big tour last time, but on your quick tour, if you remember my corn, our corn got eaten by the raccoons the first time, and we still had popcorn left, and then the raccoons ate the popcorn. So we have about 2 or 3 years left next to the greenhouse, and we planted another stand of corn, which I have tried to net and anti-wildlife it. I don't know what it does to keep a raccoon out. Probably a steel cage, but um, we've already had two growths of corn already, and we still have. If you don't understand your zone, your growing zone, 7B or 6B or 7A or whatever you are, um, you need to ask Google or ask Siri, what is your first projected frost date in whatever your town is. Now I did, hey Siri, what is my projected frost date in Bardstown, Kentucky? And she told me October 3rd. And this is from the almanac. This is from, years of recording and all that. And, there's a chance on October 3rd that you're going to have a frost. And it's going to kill whatever that's not covered or just doesn't take cold. Usually by Halloween, you're pretty well set. You're going to get a freeze, and if you remember them Halloweens when you're young, you had to wear a rubber mask that looked like Frankenstein or whatever, and it was so hot you couldn't keep the mask on, or it was so frigid cold that, you had to wear a coat over top of your costume. Terrible. But you never can tell. So you have to count the days. So you get on your calendar. If she says it's, October 10th in your area, count back the days from August 4th to August 10th. That's how many days you got left. So then you have to go and get your seed packs out. Now, there are cold crops, not cold crops, but they do call them cold crops. That is brassicas, which is broccoli, cauliflower, kohlrabi, cabbage. You know, they are made for cold weather. They love cold weather. Um, Hot weather, they just don't do anything. So, so they like that weather. So you can guarantee if you go through your seed packs and find a, all right, let me find it real quick. Well, I can go through them all, I guess. Um, you go on the back of your seed pack and say, like we have 60 days left of growing time. So you go on your pack, and it says days to harvest. Now this is beets, which we just planted, and on the back it says days to harvest 50 to 60. So there's a good chance we're going to get more beets. And this is I don't know if you um, save for winter. I mean, by the time the summer's done and fall's done, our freezers, and we have an upright, our freezer, the refrigerator, and we have a chest freezer totally full of vegetable. We never buy a vegetable in the wintertime. We never buy a vegetable anytime. So hopefully someday we don't have to do that with fruit either, but our fruits takes time. So what you have to do is look and you go, well, I can plant beets. Now the next thing is to go in your garden and see if you got room. If you got something that's doing absolutely nothing, pull it out and stick some more seeds in it. You know, we go through and, you know, like you harvest potatoes. Well, that opens that up. That's when we put our corn in. And then we harvest, you know, if we have a bad tomato or a bad, you know, or we pull beets out, you put more beets back in. And this is going to be your harvest that you're going to save for the winter. So you can do just some of them. I mean, beets, you can still do zucchini. There's still time. I just put one out yesterday, matter of fact. And zucchini takes 50 to 60 days. So you can get a whole nother crop, which is probably smart, because if you had any problem like we did with the vine borer, every time we'd get one going good, vine borer would come, and if you don't know what that is, it gets in the stem right where the ground hits, and it'll go up and climb in there and it'll lay eggs, and then all the little eggs will eat everything on the inside. So if you have a zucchini or yellow squash or pumpkin or whatever, and all of a sudden it looks great, and the next day it's bleh, well, that's why a vine borer's got it. And there's not many things you can do. There are different squashes that are less susceptible, I think that's the word, to vine borers. They don't like either the stem is thicker or it doesn't taste good or whatever it is. So you should keep planting zucchini and yellow squash. You know, one of them years you have 50 of the little suckers, and then the next day, you know, next year you have none. We haven't been able to grow a zucchini yet. So we're trying the second batch and see if we can get a zucchini. Our neighbors are giving them now. So we got, just to give you an idea, yellow squash, same way. Lettuce. Lettuce only takes 66 days to maturity. Well, that doesn't mean, I mean, you can be picking leaves off the bottom as soon as it, and it's more like 30, 40 days. You're harvesting lettuce, and you just keep harvesting it until frost hits. You got snow peas. It just like it says, it loves the cold weather. So it doesn't like a freeze, and it really doesn't like a frost. You can always throw a frost blanket over it, or a sheet or whatever. But you know, they take 70 days, so there's a good chance you're going to get some snow peas. And And if you like, stir fry, snow peas are the best. Bok choy is another one in your stir fry. Bok choy is, where did that write it? 45 days. And bok choy, if you never grew it, it's really good, and it's like a Oriental lettuce sorta. Um, but we grew it all through the winter in our greenhouse, and it never died. I don't know why, but we don't have any heat in our greenhouse. Um, Cucumbers, still time. I'm going to show you my little kids garden. If you didn't watch that video, it's only a 2x4 square, and cucumbers are going crazy. I mean, we're up over 30, 36 cucumbers so far, off of a 1 square foot cucumber area there. So I mean, it's all over it. But beans, we got different kind of beans this year. We got dragon tongue, rattlesnake, scarlet runner beans, which I just started because we thought we grew them and they came out purple flowers. So we must have got the wrong pack, or they did. I don't know which. And then, there's a custard squash, which are really interesting. They're sort of like a patty pan, if you know what they are. But, you just chop them up. They're really tasty, and, they're 42 days. Now, radishes, they're like 25 days. So you can just keep planting radishes every week until it frosts, and have fresh radishes all of the whole season. So, or at least till frost anyway. And so, it's time. It's not time to give up your garden. It's time to get out there and see what space you can make, and find a spot to put them. Don't dig out the rototiller, none of that. Just find a 2 foot square or a 1 foot square, and put some seeds in. And if you're in a raised bed, that's perfect. If you're raised bed like ours is only 6 inches high, um, you know, with no dig, you never dig it. So you want everything just as natural, and everything is going on underneath the soil. You want to keep that way. So you want them bugs and worms and all that other stuff's going on down there, and that's what uh, makes it so unique, because you're not adding fertilizer. You're not adding. All you're adding is compost, and compost is natural and organic. And um, so what you need to do, you just need to go out there, find a spot, go through your seeds. If you don't have seeds, Walmart still got them. Be creative and see what you can find. That's, you can't do flowers, you can't do tomatoes or peppers, or that kind of summer stuff. But there's tons of if you like kale, all kinds of kale, which I'm not a kale fan, or spinach, or um, I think you can probably do turnips still, because a lot of them ground crops, take the cold, take the frost. But don't give up, and don't say, well, season 2025 is over. Let's let it grow to weeds, and then we'll rototill it up in the spring and start all over again. You got a lot. Well, you got 60 days of gardening to go. So, and the thing with broccoli, cauliflower, and all that, they like cold weather, so they'll go clear into, if there's 120 days to maturity, then you'll probably get that. And sometimes, we have to cover it up with some kind of cloth, or frost cloth, or whatever, and you can let them go. I mean, they go forever, and you never can tell in Kentucky or anywhere else anymore, what kind of weather you're going to have in the winter, what kind of weather you're going to have in the summer. It was flooding and everything in the spring, and then it went to drought. We had 3 weeks before the tour, and it was like watering everything, and then we had one big rain, and which brought everything back to green, and now we're back in drought again. And every day they go, whoop, rain's coming, rain gone. And it seems to bypass us. I don't know what the deal is, but so I got a few things I want to show you. The corn before the raccoons get it looks really good, but I want to show you what I've done, and a couple other things that a little update on the little garden, and that'll be it. So from there, we'll say, and then maybe in October, Halloween's coming up, so that's my big holiday. So I'll be this hammock does not get much use this summer, but I do want to show you my shirt I got from my sister. Um, Never too old to play in the dirt. Um, and and I got a new hoe, which I meant to bring out, or a new pitchfork. 10, 10. I mean, it's wicked. I'll show you by the end of the video. So, and so we'll say later, and we'll be back in a second. Later. One thing I forgot to say when we were talking about putting in fall, one of our main crops is potatoes. So go to your hardware store, your farm store, uh, get some seed potatoes. They are the funnest crop to plant because you put them in and you harvest them. You don't know what you're going to get, and like I said before, it's like a treasure hunt. So yeah, don't forget the potatoes and onions too. And you can put onions in too. And some onions will winter over and then come back in spring, or keep living in the snow and the cold. And so yeah, don't forget the potatoes. It's a big crop in the fall. So uh, one more tip later. And here's my new 10 spine, I guess they're called, pitchfork. Uh, do a lot with compost, a lot with mulch, and a lot with, so we got serious. So this thing's gonna be cool. That's a birthday present from my wife. So pretty cool. It's Bob. He's back, and just kind of scanning over the. Uh, I said in the other videos that our butterflies were not here, but they have been pretty busy, so that's a good thing. Um, Dahlias and zinnias. When you see our zinnias, they are like everywhere. Um, Purple sweet potato. We keep cutting it back, and it just keeps growing in the lawn. Um, we can. This is what's left of my popcorn. Um, it was so pretty, and we hope that the raccoons didn't find it, like they didn't touch it last year, but evidently uh, must have smelled good. The This is our second batch, and if you can see, um, their ears are just coming on, and that's the dangerous time because then it starts to smell like corn, evidently. So I put wooden stakes all the way around, and then I thought I made them tall enough that they would be uh, inside of that, but they are sticking out the top. So we're just not sure what's going to happen uh, with the raccoons. I've got it all blocked off and sealed off on the bottom, and the screen all over it, and but they'll find a hole somewhere. So we're hoping that we get that one. Tomatoes are still producing. They may look crazy, but uh, they're up over the 8 foot mark, and still got lots of tomatoes hanging on them. Zinnias, marigolds. Uh, our beans are going crazy. We've had a bumper crop of beans because we have regular green beans, we have rattlesnake beans, we have dragon tongue beans. We got cantaloupe growing up the side there. We got cucumbers growing up this side over here. and these giant sunflowers are just holding everything up. I want to show you our cantaloupe. Uh, I'd like to take you in the house and give you a taste of our cantaloupe we picked the other day. I'll tell you, it is absolutely wonderful. So it's in the midst of all the carrots, and then this, if you can see, is all watermelon, and it has taken up my whole pathway. And there is one right in the middle. So hopefully, we still got 60 days, as I said, to grow. And then these are our beans. I'll tell you, that is the way to do it. You know, you don't see hardly any beans down the bottom. They're all on the top, and they're all just hanging down there for you to grab. Um, yep, they just hang out the bottom, and it's going to be a little fort here pretty soon. Green peppers, lost a few. I have no idea. I don't know what happened. They were looking good. We bragged on them. I guess maybe that's what happened. We bragged on them, and then they just kind of melted. Here's our yellow squash. We finally got one of them going, and but everybody can grow them. This is all celery, about ready to get harvested, and I'll have to show you one of our custard squashes if I can find one. There's baby custard squash right there. Everything else is just going well. These are regular sweet potatoes. I'm interested in see how that works. And I want you to see this tomato. This is a volunteer, but I'm not 6 foot, but taller than I am, 5'10", and it's just huge. And this is another thing that's really funny is that I cut Rose of Sharon to make steaks out of, and to make teepees for my beans. And if you look at the top, darn thing growing right out of the ground. All that stick is just sticking. It's probably an inch in the ground. Now this one's starting to do the same thing. Amazing what nature can do. Our asparagus is coming back finally. Still looks pretty poor. But I wanted to show you this one squash. And I probably still won't be able to say it. But I'm gonna. And there has to be a weed right over it. Zucchino rapicante squash. And if I can get over there. Oops, sorry. Look at the blossoms on this thing. It just keeps going, keeps going. And this has a curly squash, which I will have to show you that we harvested. It's a little one, but kind of gives you the idea they can grow 3 feet long. Our pumpkins are trying. Our big pumpkins got vine borer, but if you get a chance, if you think you can save it, cover everything up with dirt and maybe it'll root, and then it'll continue on. But you know, once it cuts, this one did the same thing. Vine borers are just awful right now. I covered that one up, but it's not going to do it much good. Already too far gone, I think. And I can't even tell you what the name of this squash is. Nope, that's buttercup. That's not a buttercup. Oh well, we'll show you one of them too. Sunflowers are the greatest. They just love, you just love them. And okra, really small this year. Um, but, oop, there's one. Here's another little one. Really funny. But the ones we picked, I'll have to take a picture of for you. And one other thing I want to show you is you can see our garden is still blasting away. We're going to use every one of the 60 days, I guarantee it. This is my new zucchini. I think that's another yellow. And this is one little 2-foot squat, you know, there, the poor little zucchini's not looking too good. But I planted carrots and onions, and then we got put beets in, and we just put new dry beans, and pinto. Wildflowers are finally fizzling out. But I wanted to show you, we had to harvest, or you know, we've been harvesting blackberries all year, and man, there's a ton of them. Just to give you an idea what my aisleway looks like. I'm still not done my netting, but look at that. You just kind of, that watermelon just taking over. Now he's over here in the big okra. So there's still lots of berries on there. But our fig actually has figs. We're real happy about that. And this is our little 2x4 garden. That's all cucumbers there. Just harvested them yesterday. And there's still another cucumber in there. Yeah, they're in a 1-foot square. And you still got tomatoes, which are really good cherries. Still got beets growing down there, carrots growing down there, potatoes needed harvested. Then we got zinnias popping them out in the middle. Not bad for a 2x4 square. And but that's about it. Hopefully we can show you what corn looks like when it's harvested. Maybe. But so we I want to show you an oak flower, or okra flower. One more before we leave. This is the most beautiful flower, I think. And all these tomatoes popping up, these are all volunteers. That one, that one, that one. And we got more. I've taken my volunteers that are, they're little seedlings in the ground, and put them in there and over there and over here to take place of these. They've already started, so we might get lucky and get another run of tomatoes. So and then we'll say I'll throw you some pictures of the squash and my kids, and herb garden is just building everywhere, and our 4 o'clocks are just gorgeous right now. But it's really weird, they, you know, 4 o'clock, I always thought it was 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. So if you wait, they'll all be wide open. And we saw a giant hummingbird moth, like a big one, like the size of a hummingbird, the other night. Couldn't get a picture of him. So um, I'm babbling, so we'll let you go. And hopefully you enjoy the video. Hopefully you learn what to do with all them empty spots you got in your garden, and grow some more food. So we'll talk to you later. Later.